either by trains, or I was going to the movies in public places, or I was at the airport trying to take a flight. People would look at me with the eyes of sympathy. They would look at me with the eyes that, oh, maybe a patient is being transported from place A B to place B. And I would often overhear, hi, hi, देखने में तो बड़ी अच्छी है, लंबी चौड़ी है, hi, बिचारी इस पे बैठी है. So there was a lot of bicharapan and there was a lot of sympathy and, people would come to me trying to help me because they looked at me as a disabled person. So, not denying the fact that there is a lot of humility, there's a lot of humanity out there. People come forward to help, that's a nice thing. But the fact that they were reaching out to me was totally because they looked at me as a totally disabled person who needed help. And come 18 years later, when I come back to India with the first medal ever won by a woman at Paralympics, and I am at the airport wearing the India tracksuit, nobody comes and says, Madam, tabet kaisi hai? Madam, madad kar de. They come and the first thing they say is, thank you, ma'am, for getting the medal. So, the perception changed in the eyes. It's just because I wear this tracksuit now, and very proudly so. I'll take you back to my childhood. The first time disability struck me was when I was a 5-year-old. The tumors were detected in my spine, and then deterioration, surgery, rehab, and learned to walk again. The second time I had to face disability again was my 1.5-year-old daughter. She accidentally stepped out of the main gate of the house. She got hit by a biker. She had a head injury and the left of her body got totally paralyzed. The instant reaction of the society to us as a family was, "Hi bichare, maa ki bimari bachchi ko lag gayi." Because nobody wanted to know why she had got paralyzed and why I had got paralyzed. The two things were mere coincidence and had no connection to each other. Yet, we suffer so badly by the stereotype that that's the only thing that comes to our minds. So, I started working very hard with her disability, her training, her exercise, her rehab, her IQ level tests, whether she's going to be a normal child when it comes to intellect and all that. But I carried it on. I worked very hard with her. My second daughter was born, and after the birth of my second daughter, the pain in my spine came back. It was taken as a post-delivery symptom, got neglected. Maybe I had a lot of tolerance in me to take the pain, because if I would go and tell the doctors I have pain, they would only judge it at a certain degree. They didn't realize when I smilingly said I had pain, it was actually the pain of tumors coming back in my spinal cord. And by 1999, it was declared that I have a couple of tumors which were eating into my spinal cord. And post 3 surgeries, 200 stitches, chest below total paralysis, no bladder, no bowel control, no temperature control in the body, with lungs only inflating half to inhale oxygen, with no torso balance, with no abdomen muscles. I was told that I will die in a room, in my own urine and in my own stool. So the disability came back. So, अब क्या होगा? माँ बेटी को कैसे पालेगी? बेटी की भी ट्रीटमेंट चल रही है, माँ भी अब तो बिस्तर पकड़ चुकी है, छोटी बिटिया 3 साल की है, इस घर का क्या होगा? So these were the thoughts which were randomly thrown at us or discussed by the relatives and people around us. And yet, here I am, wearing an Indian tracksuit, sitting in front of you, and as I speak, I'm very proud to share that जो लोग कहते थे कि माँ बेटी का क्या होगा, My elder daughter, Devika, is now a 26-year-old young lady who has tremendously worked in the sector of disability. She has understood disability because she has suffered it herself. She has seen her mother battle with it. So she's a psychology student. She has developed a concept of wellness, which is called an emotional wellness through sports. And she very lovingly calls the foundation Wheeling Happiness. And her work done at Commonwealth level, her paper of concept of sports beyond competition, sports as a medium of rehab, peace and self-confidence among the physically challenged, that took her to at least half the globe, including University of Arizona, Japan. She has worked with the war-wounded soldiers in the war zone in the Palestinian countries, which was scary to her mother. And all this work that she has taken forward has made her win the Young Leader Award from the Queen of England at the Buckingham Palace. Currently pursuing PhD, being the first Indian man or a woman to be selected by the #1 World's College of Sports Sciences to go and do disability sports psychology as her PhD subject. So she had her own journey, I had my own journey, and my younger daughter had her own journey. And with us very closely were attached two women, one my mother, one my mother-in-law. Now with these serious disabilities and this serious sadness in the family so as to be perceived by the outsiders, how did we do what we did? How did we emerge out of it? I think just two simple answers. We did not allow disability to affect our mind. Our body could have been affected, but whatever we could do from our mind to not let it take over. So when we talk about mind, it is definitely about the emotional wellness of the mind. How happy you can be, and how much can you identify your sources of happiness. You know, each one of us says, I'm sad, or I'm depressed, or I'm unhealthy, or I'm doing, but are you doing something about it? Are you actually keeping yourself soul happy? Because they say that if you're happy, you're able to overcome challenges in a better way. A sane mind and a happy mind can look for better solutions, because if you're depressed, you're low, you kind of give up on life. So what kept us emotionally happy? Because we were there for each other, we were encouraging each other, we were feeding motivation into each other. जब लोग ये कहते थे कि आपकी बहू तो अपंग हो गई, आपकी बहू तो ये हो गई, अब बच्चों को कौन पालेगा, आप अपने बेटे की एक और शादी कर दो, ये तो बिस्तर में ही पड़ी रहेगी, तो आप ऐसा करो कि कोई गरीब घर की लड़की ले आओ, लड़की का भी भला हो जाएगा, बेटियों को माँ मिल जाएगी, बीवी को मतलब मेरे को एक नर्स मिल जाएगी, गरीब घर की होगी, एंड हस्बैंड का मैरिटल ब्लिस भी चलता रहेगा, लीगलाइज सेक्स व्हिच यू से. सो my mother-in-law turned around and said, my daughter-in-law could be paralyzed, her soul is not paralyzed. So that is being well, that is the wellness. There could be disease in the family, there could be somebody unwell, but a communication like that, an interaction and support like that turns everything into wellness. The other thing happened, they said, I avoided eating on the table because my digestion is weak and I don't have a proper bowel control, so I have to eat very restricted amount of diet. And if I sit with everybody, I tend to overeat. I get tempted to eat. Because अगर table पे चटनी भी है, अचार भी है, और पापड़ भी है, और variety of things are there, you want to eat more. So my food was restricted, already pre-served in a thali and given to me in the room. We had guests over, family guests, house guests. And I said, इनकी बहू में तो बड़ी टेढ़ है, ये आती नहीं है टेबल पे, ये सबके साथ खाना नहीं खाती है. And so we tried to tell them that, that is why she firstly doesn't eat 3 meals a day. She eats 2 meals a day. So one comes at 11 and one comes at 7, which is neither dinner time nor lunch time. So her timings are different than the regular timings of the food being served. But yet, how it is. We try to pick points, and the points were being picked कि हम तो 2-3 बार चले गए, खाने की टेबल पे बहू तो आती नहीं है, कुछ गड़बड़ है इस घर में, नाराजगी है and all that. When finally the third time my mother-in-law heard it, she turned around and said, आपको पता है भजन और भोजन एकांत का होता है. So it's all there. Spirituality is there, humanity is there, but how many times do we utilize it, use it, exercise it? The day you start doing it in a positive way, you are emotionally well and you are truly in belief of wellness theory. Then people said disability, how is she going to live her life? I think disability gave me focus and sports gave it a direction. The exercises that I was doing in the physiotherapy center every day, I was called a patient. People would only turn around and say, "Theek kab ho jaoge?" And I would say, this is a lifestyle now. I cannot get theek beyond this. I can only keep my body fit as much as I can. And for that, I'm doing my regular rehab training. I'm learning my new body. I'm learning to change clothes. I'm learning to be happy. I'm learning to do activities. I'm doing my hydrotherapy. I'm trying to drive. But yet, people will not believe that how can a woman on a wheelchair be happy? So I tapped on my sources of happiness, because if they were my sources of happiness, they definitely were my passions, something which left me soul happy, something which derived passion in me. So what was it? It was swimming, it was driving, it was biking. These were my 3 major passions. And they also became my medium to kind of declare to the world that I'm all right. It is okay to be on the chair. I'm very happy and healthy. And once I use these mediums to create certain records, the impact was totally about wellness and nothing else. And I want to share a video there with you. Can I have the Limca video? And would you please stop it at 2.15 seconds? I want to see how my passions, my hobbies turned into actually, yeah.
She backstroked against the Yamuna currents for a kilometer.
I trained for 3 months at Lakshmi Bai National Institute of Physical Education at Gwalior, and it was hard work because my coach told me we don't get permissions in my disability category. They don't allow people in my disability category to take that open river water swimming. It has never been done in India before, and I had to really take a special permission and convince them that I want to do this.
यमुना किनारे दीपा को लेकर लोग नदी की तरफ बढ़े तो सब देखने को बेचैन थे कि दीपा तैरेगी कैसे। जिसका आधा जिस्म बेजान हो, लकवे से जिसके पैर न हिलते हो, वो तैरेगी कैसे? पर दीपा ने तैरना शुरू कर दिया।
I'm back from a Leh Ladakh exhibition drive, which I did in my vehicle, driving as one of the drivers. Did 3,000 kilometers in 10 days, covering 9 high altitude passes on the highest motorable roads, doing an average of 300 kilometers per day at an average high altitude of 15,000 feet above sea level. having created these records, they came up like a certificate of my wellness, whether it was my emotional wellness or whether it was my physical wellness. These passions also became a medium to kind of speak out, voice certain activism regarding the policies for disability sports, whether it was license making for a person in disability or for the fact that I wanted to do rallies. So there were no insurance policies in place for people like us. There was no rally license making policies. So they were not just personal goals, but they became an impact on the society also. So I was able to change policies, becoming a member of the Formulation Planning Commission, but the policies had changed, the mindsets had not changed. People were still doubting my ability, and in one of the occasions they did not gift me a car. All the able-bodied athletes were given a car. But I said, I have already proved that I can drive and yet I have not been given a car. So I went ahead and made my third Limca world record. And can I have the Wow Drive video quickly, the last video, one of the...
दिलों में तुम अपनी बेताबियां लेके चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम, नजर में ख्वाबों की बिजलियां लेके चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम, हवा के झोंकों के जैसे आजाद रहना सीखो, तुम एक दरिया के जैसे लहरों में बहना सीखो, हर एक लम्हे से तुम मिलो, खोले अपनी बाहें, हर एक पल एक नया समा देखिए, जो अपनी आंखों में हैरानियां लेके चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम।
Through this project, Wow will on Wheels, in this awareness drive, I'm attempting to make a record of the longest drive ever done by a woman in my disability, which is paraplegia, just below total paralysis. I'll be driving from Chennai to Delhi and covering almost a distance of about 3,200 kilometers. So that is the record I'll be proposing, and it is aimed at social awareness towards the mindset, towards the change that I want to bring about the potential, the doubt and the potential of physically challenged people, and also encouraging physically challenged people to come and join the world of para sports.
Take the one that made you cry. Ooh, made you cry.
So I ended up making 4 world records, and why I'm showing these videos is we often limit ourselves. We go by what people have defined as stereotypical definitions. I think from my life I have learned time and again that people look at you the way you look at yourself. And we all are given this body to be custodians of our souls, and it is our moral responsibility not to let this body and the soul be unhappy in any way. If I was left with just 1/3 of my body functional, if I had my head on my shoulders, and if I had my heart in my control, I could live in this body. It's been 18 years. When I was given the 2012 Arjuna Award and I had missed going to London Paralympics, people said, 42 साल की उम्र में अर्जुन अवार्ड मिल गया और क्या चाहिए, हो गया, इस वक्त तो अब रिटायरमेंट आ जाएगी, एंड पैरालंपिक्स जाके कौन सा मेडल आ जाता. In 2016, 4 years more age, from 42 I turned 46. From 4 years people kept telling me every day, retire हो जाओ, अर्जुन अवार्ड से ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. And when I qualified the A-level distance. They said qualification से क्या होता है? 3.67 meters से आप qualify करे हो. World ranking 8th चल रहा है. नाम बदल देना. 8 से 1 या 2 में आना तो impossible है. Medal की तो भूल ही जाओ. तो I was against 2 other girls who were 20 years younger to me. But this is where self-belief, self-discipline, self-control and hard work, passion, these are not dictionary words. They just turn, if you can put reality in your dreams and follow these words, you can actually make it happen. Before I go, I want you to see the qualification which was done at 3.67 meters and 8th world ranking. What did it actually turn into in spite of being this old, in spite of being in this body and competing against 20-year younger girl? Can I have the video of the final throw? I want you to pay attention to the distance of my throw. From 3.67, it was 4.61. And I cannot leave the mic before I share the medal winning video, the medal which I brought for all of you. Can we have the medal winning ceremony to share? That's a moment we all need to see, and I love to see it again and again.
Here's history. India's first ever female Paralympic medalist in any sport, Deepa Malik, picks up the silver. From New Delhi, silver medalist in the javelin at the 2014 Asian Games. First major chance was actually in Delhi for the Commonwealth Games in 2010. They bespoke our sports program embedded within. Deepa Malik receives India's historic silver.
Thank you, ladies. It's all about emotional well-being, and when you are emotionally happy, you are alert to keep your body healthy. Do that. Celebrate life, because I feel life is the only festival that can be celebrated every day without looking forward to any dates. So celebrate and be alive. Thank you.